Hello everyone, welcome to Rohit and Rohan. In today's video, we will be reviewing a book called Swami and Friends by K Narayan. I had high expectations for this book as I had heard a lot about K Narayan and his wonderful storytelling. Plus, I had begun to read the book after watching the TV series of the same name, which I liked a lot. It just added more to my expectations when I sat down to read the book. The book follows the story of Swaminathan and his friends set in the fictitious town of Malgudi. Even though Malgudi is a fictitious town, most of the major events have happened in real life. The story is set at the time of the colonial rule in India until 1947. So, yes, it's a very interesting combination of fiction and real life. Let us get into different parts of the book. First, the storytelling. R.K. Narayan has a reputation of being a wonderful storyteller. He is known to make interesting and comedic stories out of the most simple and trivial things. The storytelling of this book was done in an excellent way. The author took all the time in the world to explain the story to the reader. He also did it in a way that suggests that he did not want to overshadow one aspect of the story over others. Ultimately, when the reader reflects on what he has read, he gets a clear understanding of the different aspects of the book. There are many aspects of this book, none overshadowing the other. The comedy, the hatred, the revolt, the friendship between Swami and his friends, the childlike thinking of Swami, the MCC, Malgudi Cricket Club, the concern Swami's family has for him, the religious affairs, the longing for mischief and troublemaking that Swami has, the patriotism that the people have, the way Swami tries to sort out his priorities, the exams and the change in the environment when they are fast approaching. Swami's fear of his father when he does something wrong, Swami's devotion for God, the arrogance of Swami's friend Mani, the way Swami looks up to his friends, the headmasters of the two schools, and how Swami despises both of them in different ways. Rajan's love for the MCC and his concern for the match. Swaminathan, the Tate of the team. It's not that the storytelling is perfect. The part when Swaminathan runs from home, that part is over elaborated so much so that I usually skip that part. The author keeps explaining the same thing over and over again in different ways. Swami is scared of the dark and is imagining all sorts of things when he's in the forest like region. The comedy. Comedy is something that this book has in abundance. The book itself starts with Swaminathan thinking about how inauspicious Monday is, especially after the weekend and delicious freedom it gives. There are many other scenes of comedy. For example, when Swaminathan and his father do a math sum of ratio and proportion. And also the way Rajam was putting all sorts of ideas about enmity to his friends. Other scenes of comedy include Swaminathan's examination list, the tales his grandmother told him, and Swaminathan's thoughts on map making. I've said it once, I'll say it again. This book has some good comedy. If you want some good laughs, I definitely recommend this book. Next, we will look into the character development of major characters in this book. In my opinion, only two characters were developed, that is, Swaminathan's father and Swaminathan himself. Swaminathan's father is seen as this stubborn man who will never change his decision, whatever happens, and cares too much about his studies. In Swaminathan's opinion, it was easier to squeeze milk from a stone rather than ask father to stay home from school. And by the end of the book, Swaminathan now sees his father as an extraordinary and kind man. This is some really good character development by the author. Swaminathan also develops to like the school that he originally hated, that is, the Albert Mission School. In the very first paragraph of the book, Swaminathan shudders at the thought of Albert Mission School. But by the end of the book, Swaminathan wishes that he had not left the Albert Mission High School, and whenever he sees it, is to get reminded of nostalgic times. Swaminathan really developed to like a school which he originally hated. Swami, Rajam, and Mani start a cricket team called the Malgudi Cricket Club, the MCC. Cricket is one of my favorite aspects of this book, but it was very random and out of blue. It was a sudden topic that popped up in the book. Rajam walks in at Swami's home and forgives Swami for all his mistakes and randomly suggests to form a cricket club. That was very out of blue, and it would have been interesting to explore if the author would have made it a gradual process where Rajam at least talks a lot about cricket and then finally decides to start a club. Anyways, nevertheless, random or not, cricket is one of my favorite parts in the book as I mentioned it. The last bit of our review, the ending of the book. The book ends with Rajam and his family getting transferred to another place, hence leaving Swami with only one friend, money. This is a very sad ending that makes us pity Swaminathan. This is because throughout the book, the author ensured that the reader understood how Swaminathan looked up to Rajam as a great man. Ultimately, the book ends just like how it started, without Rajam. And the ending of the book, Swaminathan is left with a very difficult bit of his life. He has to live without Rajam, and at the same time, he continues to go to school in the board high school, not the Albert Mission School. Even though it could be a sad ending for Swami, even Rajam, I don't know whether he was sad or not. He despised Swami because of the cricket issue and so on. But still, ultimately, that is how it is, and it's a little sad ending and heartbreaking ending. Not what I expected to such a good story. Even though this book is good, there are some unwanted parts of this book, like the religious things, Mr. Ebenezer's episode, and then the revolt. Some violence there also. These are parts that one would not consider putting in a book that is likely targeting children audiences. My personal rating of this book would be 6 out of 10. As I already told, wonderful storytelling, not much character development, and unwanted violence and religious things, so on. So ultimately 6 out of 10 will what I would personally give. Subscribe to our channel for more videos. Enjoy.